Welcome back to Damon's Metal Casting. In this video, we're going to pound some sand, light some things on fire, and pour some hot metal in a hole. For this video, I decided for the content that I cast, I'm going to go ahead and use a logo from Warhammer. Warhammer is a board game, and the board game uses a lot of intricate little figures and terrain, and a lot of hobbyists build things for it, but I thought some of the logos are pretty cool. This is one of their Novamarine logos from it. So I'm like, you know what? That'd be pretty cool if I did that in highly polished aluminum. So we're gonna make this plaque and make it highly polished. So hopefully by the end of this video, we get something that turns out pretty good. Let's go ahead and get started.
All right, let's get this part dusted. I'm using talcum powder and I'm using my wife's makeup brush. I always make sure I clean that out before I put it back in my wife's bathroom drawer. Just be sure to get it all in the cracks and crevices so the sand doesn't want to stick. There, I'm just putting facing sand on it. It's brand new sand, so that way it gives a better finish. I went ahead and used that square bar just so I can get in the corners a little bit. And in case you haven't noticed, I really chopped this down. So if you want to see me pack up a mold, check out one of my other videos. And I'll go through it and explain what I'm doing in it. Here we go with the parting powder. That's just baby powder, and I'm adding more sand in there. There we go. It's all packed up all the way to the top and scraping it flat. Now I'm just putting a sprue and a riser. I'm not really going to put a spin trap or anything in there. I haven't had problems with particles as long as I use compressed air to blow a lot of the excess sand out. It really works well. Just make sure you got all the sand out of your molds. That way you don't have pitting. All right, here we go. Hopefully this pattern just falls out. This is the most important part. If it doesn't fall out nice, you're going to be packing up another mold. Yeah, came out pretty good. And covering it up. All ready to go. Couple things are happening in this shot. I'm going to point out, you can see the board in the background with a little red line on it. That's a level. I like to make sure that when I put my molds on that board that all the molds are level so the aluminum flows through evenly. So I always level out the platform that I put my molds on. Also, I preheated my crucible and I'm putting aluminum in that and putting them in there. So hopefully my little toaster oven that heats it up to about 450 to 500 degrees helps the longevity of my crucible a little bit better. Here we go. It's always fun to watch something get lit on fire. If I can do it. There we go. And I forgot to turn the choke on before I put the lid on. Usually you want to pull the choke back and open it all the way up so that way you can get all the air. All right, here we go. Time to check the temperature. Normally when I pour, I try and pour around 1500 degrees Fahrenheit to 1600 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know that's high. But on my little device, that's what seems to read in a certain area that works well for me when I pour it in my molds. I know you're supposed to pour lower, but it seems like I have a better flow and it covers more of the mold better when I pour at those temperatures of whatever my little handheld reader is reading. And again, I'm not sure how well it's calibrated, but I do know it's consistent. I get consistent results from it. Also, one of the viewers called me out last time because that rip in the jeans. I was trying to put out a little like, hey, don't do this because you get hurt. You know, you might want to wear your safety gear. And he caught me, man. He saw that right there. So, yeah, I'm going to have to straighten myself up before I start talking about safety again. There we go, the homemade lifting tongs. And that's why I have a big pouring basin. It makes it a lot easier to hit. And then if you look in the back, the aluminum's going to come up the riser, and that'll let me know that the cavity is full. So if you're enjoying my videos, I'd appreciate it very much if you just give me a like and a subscribe. It'd help me out. I spend a little bit of my money and my time on these videos, so I'd appreciate that a lot. There I am, just going to put the crucible back in the furnace, and hopefully that'll give it a little bit longer life than cracking and popping apart, so I have to get a new one sooner than later. Here comes my getting old moment. I look over at the camera because I couldn't remember if I hit record or not. Boy, that would have sucked, because there's really not much I could do to do that over again unless I pack the whole mold up. Here we go. This is the do or die moment. This is the big climax. It's like Marvel's Endgame right here, the big fight scene. I'm just building it up. Here we go. Yep, that looks pretty good. I would have scraped out some of that burnt sand that's in between the skull and the ring, but I didn't see it. And of course, you know what else I didn't see? It being upside down for the camera. Sorry about that. Getting old. I'm like, yeah, it looks good to me. Just should have flipped it over. All right, here we go. Just cutting off the sprue. Also, aluminum's pretty, casting aluminum that is pretty brittle. You can just take that and snap it. Don't even have to go all the way through. All I'm doing here is just putting an offset in between the cutting bit and my part. That way when I go ahead and cut the little sprue off on the back side of it, it's relatively flat, so it doesn't take very much sanding from the belt sander to get that done. Not only do rap videos have backside grinding, mine do too. So unfortunately, on the back side of this, that's the best I could do for sanding it unless I spent a lot of time. But there's a little bit of shrinkage, so the backside caved in the center. And then you can see on the sides, maybe some tear out in the sand caused that. But anyway, we're going to take care of that. Little Dremel with a drum sander on that took care of that pretty good. And then I can go on from there with different attachments on the Dremel. So I'm going to start using this little abrasive wheel, and I'm going to start with a coarse grit and work my way up to a finer grit. I got these for about $40 for $10 off of Amazon. They're pretty good. You're going to see how well it removes the metal and smooths it out. And then, like I said, I'm going to progressively get finer so you can see the casting get smoother and smoother. All right, looks really good, and it looks like it's ready for polishing to get that mirror finish. Let's get it going.
Hey, thanks for staying with me all the way to the end of the video. So here we go. It's all polished up. Let's check it out. Hey, not bad. That looks pretty good. That looks slick. Almost has a little bit of a mirror finish on it. I wish the head was a little smoother. I don't know if it's the sand grain or the whatever, but something happened there. But it's still polished up a little bit. I think that looks pretty dang cool. Well, all right, thanks for staying with me through my whole video. If you liked my video and you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thanks again for viewing my video. Take care.